Amy's work is really compelling in a variety of different ways. One example is the bike lane work that she's done in North Williams. The approach historically has been, let's put a bike lane in to provide access to various communities. And what she was able to bring to this project is, hey, wait a minute, let's actually look critically at who this bike lane is serving, whether it's really going to be serving the needs of the local community, and whether there are going to be any challenges related to race, gentrification, planning in general that these bike lanes may actually create.
So the Green Loop is an idea that a couple of different city offices have about creating expanded pedestrian and biking infrastructure in the downtown or central city area. We're really trying to outreach to people who don't typically get reached or integrated into city processes as much. And so we just started asking people, what do you like about your neighborhood? What don't you like? Where do you go? Where don't you go? So just trying to establish how are people moving around and what's preventing them from kind of living the life that they really want to live. So I brought in students from urban studies and sociology, and I can't say enough about how much this project would not have happened without the students. I love them.
Kristen's probably my most hardworking, earnest, sincere volunteer. She has this desire to want to help and serve the community. One of the programs that Kristen has volunteered for is our No Scrap Left Behind, which is a comprehensive program about food waste. So we take all the food that's generated over a 2-hour period around lunchtime, and we collect all the food that goes back as uneaten. We basically curate a buffet out of it. You could get a thing, intercepting somebody with their food that they have not eaten. It could be a touchy thing, but of course with Kristen, she's just so sincere and so easygoing that people are just willing to turn over their plates to her.
I'm really into environmental justice and a lot of finding the solutions and bringing up things that a regulatory process wouldn't bring up just comes from we need to have volunteers to do some of this work.
Without Corey, we probably wouldn't have the Build Lab. He does a lot of stuff for the architecture department and for engineering students as well, and he's really working hard to bring those two disciplines together so that we can learn how to practice more sustainably.
What we saw was a real need to get the architecture and engineering students in classes together. Practice of making a high-performance building requires people from different disciplines to work together early and often. And so the goal of the lab is to introduce research skills into undergraduate classes. We do that around the topic of building science and green buildings. And so we're hoping that encouraging them to figure out how to ask questions, come up with hypotheses, collect data, that we're going to both give them research skills, but I really hope curiosity, right? To keep asking questions.
Working with Tichelle, it's inspiring, it's exciting. We just finished a redesign of the MBA curriculum, and she led the redesign, but getting input from stakeholders all over. And throughout this redesign, Tichelle constantly came back to what makes us different, what makes us unique, and what can we add here in Portland, at Portland State, that will make students want to come here and make employers want to hire our students. And she kept coming back to sustainability and social impact.
We really have amazing students. They come in really wanting to go into businesses and make things better. So whether that's more environmentally sustainable products or a world where there's more fairness and justice for employees and for other people in the supply chain, or where we're actually aware as individual consumers about what our impacts are. If we want a better world, then I think business is one of the best places where we can make real change quickly.
Our communities are better when we build them together. What Katie and Adam were able to do was to spearhead an effort to design a Master's in Urban Planning thesis project that allowed us to follow up on our commitment to engaging the broad spectrum of people in our community. So they went out and did 9 focus groups in 5 different languages. They also did focus groups for Native American folks, African American folks, renters and youth, to help us have a better representation of those folks in the plans and proposals we're putting forward through Livable Lens.
It's been a really amazing way to get to apply what we're learning in school and then add capacity to a community group that is doing amazing work but just needs the technical capacity that we can add.
So for the Lent Strong project, we're working with 4 other students, John Todorov, Carson Gorky, Claire Luss, and Drew DeVitas.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Adam and Katie are an amazing team. They're both immensely creative and compassionate individuals, and the type of focus and energy that they've brought to our program has been invaluable.
I think the most amazing thing about Irene is that she's really inspired, dozens, if not more, students in her position at the Student Sustainability Center. People really respect her and really look up to her.
I've been really impressed by the work that we do here. And 1 year of bringing bees to campus and opening up a seed library, we got to take a field trip to Zinger Farms and go take a group of students to the Bull Run watershed to learn where their water comes from. And there's just so many different things happening, and we're impacting so many students at PSU and getting them more integrated with the sustainability efforts on our campus and in Portland. We've been able to, at our center, really incorporate a culture of care, and so that's something that I'm really hoping stays within this center and also expands out when the people who have been a part of this place go into the work that they do, knowing that if we take care of ourselves, we can take care of each other and we can better take care of our earth.